last band, cheerleader, whatever you want to call it, on the bench for the guys. Ended up working.
Big fun last night for the Rockies, and tonight is game 2 of this 3-game set as the Rockies celebrate the U.S. birthday tomorrow officially. Fireworks tonight after the game. The Rockies have won 4 out of 5, and with a win tonight, they can get back to 500. The Giants come in 4 games above 500 at 45 and 41 in the very tight National League West. Cargo wandering through the dugout, getting ready to go. The Rockies come from behind victors last night. It's just the second time this year, trailing after 6 innings, that they were able to come from behind and produce a victory. And Antonio Senzatella raring to go. We have not seen him since late April. You remember that ball game that Tyler Anderson was dizzy and had to leave the ball game in the 2nd inning. He replaced him down in Miami in the latter part of April, and he pitched very well. 3+ shutout innings that night. That's the last time we've seen Senza in the big leagues.
Here in the win, he also had a base hit in that game to get an RBI. It was one of those games where the Rockies didn't score much that weekend. Looking forward to see Senzatella. Last time when we saw him, it was a 2-pitch mix. When typically you see a starter go to the bullpen, it was just fastball slider. I want to see what he looks like now. We haven't had an opportunity to see him since he's gone to the minor leagues. The numbers in the minor leagues very good. His last couple starts have been excellent. Numbers for him primarily coming out of the pen. 17 third innings pitched, 14 strikeouts, has a career strikeout rate of about 7 per 9, walks per 9 about 3. To see him being able to lower the walks per 9 down. Fastball 94 miles an hour, but has good carry.
He was 10-5 last year, Spilly. As you look at that list of pitches, the changeup just 1% of the time. That will be different in all likelihood tonight. It's a pitch he's really been working on down in Albuquerque. That and his slider. You know he's got the great arm. You know he's an easy mid-90s guy. Giants will start Alan Hansen tonight. He'll be atop the lineup. He's in left field. And against righties, the Giants have been very good. In fact, they've won 15 of their last 18 against right-handed starters. Buster Posey will bat second. Brandon Belt in the 3-hole. Brandon Crawford slides up against the righty. He'll bat cleanup. Pablo Sandoval, the switch hitter. He'll bat 5th. And Nick Hundley. Nick Hundley's not in right field. That's Hunter Pence. Our bad. Joe Panik is in there. Gorkys Hernandez and Chris Stratton. If Nick's out in right field, that'd be news to Nick.
He's a late scratch.
Let's take a look at who's playing behind Antonio Senzatella tonight. Tony Walters doing the catching. The Rockies have a trio of catchers. Tom Murphy's been doing a lot of work behind the plate. Chris Ionetta's played very well, so Tony's going to get an opportunity tonight and how good he is defensively. And there's that airtight infield defense of Arenado, Story, LeMahieu, and Desmond. Parr's back in there against the righty Chris Stratton. We're set for baseball. So again, the first start of the year for Senzatella. Last year, he appeared in 36 games, made 20 starts, threw over 134 innings. Hansen takes strike 1 right at the bottom of the zone at 96 miles an hour. It's cooled off a little bit, 87 degrees. The Giants elected not to hit on the field today. That's just off the plate, 1-1. The Rockies did hit this afternoon. Bruce Bochy said yesterday that he's going to try to monitor some things because of the heat and the altitude. And I guess one of those things that he's doing to keep his players less fatigued when game time rolls around is he said, hey, hit inside, stay off your feet a little bit longer.
Well, you force the team to stay on the bus and come later to the field.
This is pulled for a base hit. Hansen runs really well. Cargo's going to hold him to a single. So a broken bat leadoff single for Hansen in front of Buster Posey.
For the Win is brought to you by Pizza Ranch. Take a look at Antonio Senzatella's numbers against the Giants. 6 cents, 3-0 in his career with a 4.24 ERA. Want to see him keep that winning record moving forward. Like to see 4-0.
Well, he's limited the hits. He's also limited the walks because his whip is less than 1 in his career outings against the Giants. Here's Posey, who's always a handful, and he takes a slider for a strike. Buster's hit in 17 straight games here at Coors Field. This ball's in the air to Charlie. Started in. Now he's got to go back. Still going back, and he'll reach up and make the catch. Tagging's Hansen, but he will not move up. Charlie is so adept at playing center field here and knowing that if he catches a ball that's deep, even with a runner on first, where in some other ballparks you played out there, you wouldn't worry about it. You got to fire towards second.
You have to get it in right away, because if a base runner reads it, and for Charlie, it took him a second. He actually took a step in before realizing it was hit better than he thought. As a base runner, if you see that, Alan Hansen tried to get back to first to tag up on Charlie.
Swung on and missed. Good fastball alive at 96. Beat Brandon Belt there.
Hansen has 4 stolen bases on the season, has not been caught yet. And Tony Walters behind the plate, the best of the Rockies trio at throwing runners out.
This is lined toward Parra in left, and that is the second out. Two gone, and here comes another lefty in Brandon Crawford. Crawford so rarely makes errors, and last night his 8th error of the year, and it was a big one because it would have ended the inning with the Rockies even with the Giants at 2. Instead, it allowed the go-ahead run to score, and then the Rockies in the 8th inning would rally for a couple of more and win by 3, 5-2. And again, a really satisfying pick-me-up win for the Rockies last night, and now they've won 4 out of their last 5, all inside the division after, remember, they'd lost 9 in a row against the West. That misses. 1 ball, 1 strike on Crawford. Runner going, and that's fouled off. 1-2. That's what the Rockies have done of late, and the difference, yeah, they scored a half a run more, but the difference has been the pitching. Rockies pitching 327 over those 5. How about the last 10? The starting rotation the last 10 games for the Rockies, a 3.32 ERA. Another slider, 2-2. Crawford was hit by a pitch last night, otherwise 0 for 3. Two outs, Hansen at first, just underway. He's going, and this is gonna go over the head of DJ. Hansen will get a stop sign at third as Cargo fires it in. Everybody was aligned as they should be on that, meaning Senzatella was behind Walters. Remember, we had that ball go through a couple of nights ago on a throw from Parra in right field.
Well, it's the second base hit for the Giants that breaks a bat. Hansen running on the plate. But there might be a chance that they would send him home. Everybody respects Cargo's big left arm, but look at where the ball hits on the mound. Almost ricochets off it and goes towards Tony Walters. Rockies caught a break. Oh, it ended up in the on-deck circle.
So now Senzatello's got to get Sandoval. Sandoval 0 for 3 last night. And that fastball wide of the zone, ball 1.
Well, the velocity's there for Senzatella. We've seen several pitches in the Subaru strike zone at the bottom at 97. It's always been the issue for Antonio is what is the next secondary pitch? What can you use to get the strikeouts?
That skips up there. Now it's 2-0. Probably a few more butterflies tonight for Senzatella. First start of the year. First time he's been back in the big leagues in a couple of months. Get that first inning out of the way. Get a 0 up there. That would be huge for him. And it'll work out just that way. Gets Pablo to pop the story. That will end the first inning. No damage done despite 2 broken bat singles. Rockies on offense. They'll be led by LeMahieu when we come back. Looking to get after Chris Stratton tonight. It always starts with DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu last night, couple hits at 5 at bats. Southwest batting order for Buddy Black this evening. Charlie bats second, Nolan naturally third. Against righties, Cargo bats cleanup. Story slides to the 5th spot. Gerardo Parra hitting well over 300. Ian Desmond batting 7th, Tony Walters 8th, and then Senzatella against 27-year-old right-hander out of Mississippi State, Chris Stratton. Actually pitched better out on the road this year, and it's his 18th start, and he begins the ball game with a strike. What's interesting about Stratton is he's a 4-pitch guy, but the league has been teeing off on his curveball slider. That was spinning and it missed away. 1-1. Here's something else to keep in mind. The Rockies lineup tonight, sans Senzatella naturally, 22 out of 46 against Stratton. They haven't had a ton of experience against him, but it seems like everybody's 3 for 5, 4 for 7. And I kept looking at these numbers and said, I got to add these up. And it's 22 out of 46. DJ, for instance, 3 for 5 with a couple of RBIs. And this is slowly hit to Crawford. And he'll throw out LeMahieu, 1 gone.
Center fielder, number 19.
Take a look at the gloves for San Francisco. Hansen is in left field. Hernandez is in center, and Hunter Pence is getting the start in right field. Sandoval, Crawford, Panic, and Belt left to right in the infield with Posey behind the plate. Something that's interesting, you know, the Rockies have done well against the Giants of late, and especially here at Coors Field. They've won 13 of their last 15 against San Francisco at home. The Rockies play airtight defense against the Giants. You know the Giants made 17 errors against Colorado since the start of last year. Bruce Bochy knows that number. He doesn't like it.
You can't, because you're giving a team more opportunities to score. And if you're making errors at Coors Field, it's just as bad, if not worse. You hear us harp on don't walk anybody. Making errors, especially to this offense, even worse.
Yeah, it's amplified. This ball's hit to deep center. Did Charlie touch it? Yes, he did. Home run, Charlie Blackmon. Been a little wide. 15th of the year for Blackmon. He went to the deepest part of the yard. 1-0 Rockies.
Well, for Charlie, you saw a fastball at first pitch of the at-bat. This one misses right down the middle. Off the bat, had that good sound, traveling deep to center field. You gotta love that for Charlie. He's been working his tail off, trying to get into a good rhythm at the plate.
There's a curveball that Nolan saw really well. It's kind of hanging up in the zone. It's fouled back. 15 home runs, 37 driven in now for Blackmon. Said this the last few days on a couple of occasions. Wait till Charlie really starts heating up. And this will be a base hit through the vacated right side. Looks like a changeup that Charlie hit.
This is Charlie's first home run since June the 20th against the New York Mets. It was 42 plate appearances. Wait for the StatCast data to pop up and tell me exactly what type of the pitch that was. But you mentioned earlier, Stratton's getting slugged with his changeup, curveball, and slider. Secondary pitches well over 500 on those pitches combined. Blackmon's
now 5 for 10 with 2 home runs against Stratton. Cargo takes a high quality swing at a center cut fastball. If he lives there, it's going to be a short night for Chris Stratton.
Well, and there were numbers. You were talking about how the Rockies have hit him, Stratton, so well. The average exit velocity for the Rockies against him is 82 miles an hour. So it's not a lot of hard contact, but a lot of hits.
Cargo's 2 for 6 against Stratton. 1 out, a run in. Nolan at first, and this ball is lined to left. Hansen is there, and that is the second out.
Shortstop, number 20.
2 gone. Here comes Trevor Story to the plate. He's 3 for 6 against Stratton. Rare night last night for Trevor. He didn't have a hit. 0 for 3 and a walk. Like every night he's throwing out a hit or 2. Story, second in the National League in extra base hits with 43. Hit 333 in the month of June, and this will be a base hit. You just see from the dugout, don't you, Spilly, when guys are really comfortable at the plate. And you also see, conversely, when guys aren't comfortable at the plate.
There's no question the Rockies feel comfortable against Chris Stratton. And if you look at some of his career numbers, a sub-7 strikeout per 9, he's not a big strikeout pitcher. So he's a contact-type pitcher, uses sinker. And if you don't respect the secondary pitches, well, this becomes a comfortable at-bat.
So here's Gerardo. .392 this year in these situations with runners in scoring position. 20 for 51. That's similar to what he did a year ago. He had a career high 71 RBIs. For a guy that, you know, plays about 75% of the time, to drive in 70 plus, man, you got to be clicking when there's guys out there.
He's always had a nose for it. Takes those quality at bats with runners in scoring position. And imagine this, he does this without hitting a lot of home runs.
Yep, he's on pace against Spilly to drive in more than 70 this year.
just since May, he's hitting .350 with 15 extra base hits. The extra base hits, although they're not a lot of homers, he only has 5 on the season. You hit doubles, doubles will drive in a lot of runs. Double right now will clear the bases.
Yeah, he got tied up there, 1-2. Trying to hold up on a pitch out of the zone. He had a stretch the 3rd week of June where he drove in a run in 7 straight games. That's not easy to do. Nolan at second, Story at first. Buster keeps it in the neighborhood, 2-2.
I like reading this story about Chris Stratton. He went to Cape Cod League, and one of the pitching coaches there was known as Big Sexy. Apparently, he doesn't even know what his first name is, but he taught him how to throw a two-seamer. Says you throw two-seamers inside, and Stratton told him, I was like, I don't even have a two-seamer. What is that?
You'd have thought before he got to the Cape Cod League, the best summer collegiate baseball league, he would have messed around at some point with a two-seamer, no?
Nope. Coach's name is actually Jason Blanton.
Oh, that wasn't his given name?
Yeah, Big Sexy wasn't the given name.
2-2. That pitch.
Interesting thing with the two-seam fastball, you'll see pitchers that have it. If you have that good downward movement, it creates a lot of ground ball outs. If you don't, and you're just trying to do it with just to get the visual of the movement, it's not a high strikeout pitch, it's a higher walk pitch, and when you miss up, it's usually a homer. That's why a guy like Charlie Morton, when he went to the Houston Astros, they just scrapped his two-seamer, said throw your four-seam.
That's worked out pretty well for him.
You think?
Another 2-2 to Gerardo. That's not an easy pitch to block. 3-2, so the runners will be off. Desmond on deck, hoping for an opportunity. Rockies have a run already on the Blackman homer. The middle base hit. Story. Will he follow Nolan? Nope. He'll get a stop sign as he rounded third. Parra comes through yet again in the clutch. And it's 2-0. What an at bat for Gerardo.
With the base runners running, Gerardo's just gonna put the ball in play. Ends up breaking his bat. Two-seamer just trying to go in on him and down, and it catches again. Too much part of the plate on the super.
Parra third in the National League in hitting with runners in scoring position. He's only behind Matt Kemp and Miami's Brian Anderson. First and third, 2 outs. Here's Desmond. He's had a ton of clutch hits this year. He's driven in 48. Parra's RBI, number 38 for him. Rockies have been the best first inning offense in baseball, and you know the other side of that coin also. We won't go there tonight. Senzatella threw up a 0 in the first inning. The Rockies have scored 72 first inning runs. And one of the things Chris Stratton, Spilly, I'm sure is aware of, Johnny Cueto's not far from coming back. Jeff Samardzija threw last night for Sacramento. He's very close to coming back. He threw 90 pitches last night, 2 runs over 6 innings. Which means a couple of somebodies are going to be removed from the rotation. Derek Holland, it looks already like it's already been moved to the bullpen.
You gonna take Mad Bum out of the rotation?
I don't think Mad Bum's coming out of the rotation. And the 2 young guys have pitched very well. Suarez.
Maranta yesterday.
Swung on and missed.
But that's also something as a young player, you cannot think about those things. You just play the best you can. Force front offices to make a decision. It is not, it's the last thing a player should ever do is come to the ballpark trying to figure out if he's going to stay on a roster when 2 guys get healthy.
Well, Derek Rodriguez, the other player, young player I was referencing, who's been in the rotation for 6 starts. Now you got to do your thing. You try to block everything else out. Desmond trying to keep the train moving here in a productive first inning. Stratton has pitched here before. In fact, pretty well. 7 total innings, not a ton of work, but just 3 runs allowed till tonight. Desmond, another guy in that Rockies lineup who's had success against Stratton, 3 for 5. And this is bounced to second. Panic will throw to first. That'll end the inning. The Rockies got a home run to dead center from Charlie Blackmon. Then they created another run with 3 singles. The last one from Parra, scoring Nolan Arenado. 2-0 after 1. Colorado.
Number 13 greatest Rocky of all time. As Buddy Black would say, Ellis is a guy who overcame the test of time. 18 years in the big leagues. Here's a look at his career numbers versus time with the Rockies. Check this out. One of only 23 Major League Baseball players with 2,000 plus games, 350 home runs, and 150 stolen bases. He talked with us about what it was like being a part of the Blake Street Bombers.
I believe it was 96 where we had 3 or 4 guys with 40 home runs. And Larry Walker got hurt or he would have had 40. So, I mean, that was just one of those years where everything clicked. Opposing teams were afraid to come in here. The pitching staff was scared. We called it Nightmare on Blake Street. It was awesome, man. And to see all these guys back here now and you know, looking as good as they're looking, having fun, that's what it's all about.
Don't forget to join in on the conversation by tweeting us at AT&T Sportsnet RM using the hashtag ToyotaTalk25. Drew.
Well, Ellis Burks, one of the most talented guys to ever wear the purple pinstripes. He's in that Larry Walker class of guys, Trevor Story class, guys that could hit for power, could run the bases. Ian Desmond, just, you know, tremendous athletes.
I think of the categories that Taylor's talking about: run, throw, hit, play great defense, good teammate, all the things that you're mentioning. But I'll always remember him in the middle of the lineup is that it was a great counterbalance between when you thought of Big Cat and Dante and Vinny and Larry. It was something we talked about when we were with Vinny Castilla during the pregame for the Silver 25, just about how it was all these different cultures, ground ball to DJ, and just how they all meshed. Like the team photo from 1996 is great. It's like a kaleidoscope of different types of people. Is amazing.
He hit a home run in his first at bat in a Rockies uniform. There's only one other guy who hit a home run in his first Rockies at bat, Jay Gaynor. Angel Hernandez wants some diamond drive around the plate. There are a number of guys that hit a home run their first game in a Rockies uniform. The Rockies shortstop tonight, Trevor Story, obviously hit a couple in his big league debut. Famous big league debut down in Arizona against Zach Greinke. Here's Pence leaving the box. Yeah, that would require some diamond drive.
And that happens. I mean, a lot more major leaguers don't wear metal spikes. They wear plastic molded cleats. And early in a ball game, especially when it's hot, teams will put a lot more water. It'll be a little bit slicker of a surface as the evening wears on. Home plate will be harder and harder. Now it's clay. It's not dirt. So this stuff is pretty thick. But whenever you're wearing molded plastic cleats, it happens all the time. You'll see guys spin out.
It just doesn't seem right to play baseball and not
wear metal spikes.
Have nails on, as players like to call it.
Yeah, well, you do it for 162 games, your feet hurt.
Hard on the feet, right?
It's hard.
Joe Panik, he's wearing spikes. And he takes 2-0.
But you're not kidding. The first pair of metal cleats I ever had, college baseball. I got my pair of metals. There were some Nikes, and the sound of it when you're walking down concrete sounds so great.
It's the best. Remember that Under Armour commercial? This is a foul ball. And you just saw the Under Armour spikes that Panik's wearing. What was it? Click clack, clickety clack.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was a great spot.
Now, if you take those same spikes, and we did this a bunch of times, especially when you're a goofy kid, if you kick your spikes against the concrete, it'll spark. And if you go running really fast and slide it across the concrete, your feet are like, it looks like you're on fire. It's great.
Idle time. Too much idle time at UCSB. 2-1 on Joe Panik. And that's strike 2. Angel Hernandez, we mentioned, the veteran umpire. He's behind home plate. Bill Miller's at first. Ted Tishner's at second, and Alan Porter's at third. Change the eye level there with the mid-90s fastball. And Senzatella becomes the first pitcher to start a game not in the original rotation, because the Rockies have gone 85 games with the same rotation, the farthest they've ever gone into a season. This is a high fly ball to pretty deep right field. Targo's there. You know, Gray and Anderson, Herman, Kyle Freeland, Chad Bettis, they made every start. And now with John being sent down to Albuquerque, you're going to see Senzatella for the time being, it looks like. And with Chad Bettis going on the disabled list today, we'll see who makes a start in his place a little bit later in the week. See that finger's wrapped up. They just got to calm that down. One of the other points that Buddy made about giving Chad a rest, it always benefits a starting pitcher to get a break this time of year. You come back so much fresher. This ball right at Trevor Story. Nice inning for Antonio Senzatella. 1-2-3. Rockies up 2-0. Sportsnet is brought to you by the 2018 Toyota Tundra in your hometown Toyota stores, and by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. It was a very good first inning for the Rockies. They scored a couple of times, highlighted by the Charlie Blackmon home run, his 15th of the year. And on a beautiful Tuesday night in the mountains, the Rockies will try to produce some more offense against Chris Stratton in the second inning. It'll be Tony Walters, Antonio Senzatella, and then DJ LeMahieu against Stratton. Rockies 4 games above 500 when Tony starts. Brandon Belt will run to the bag. Tony is out number 1 in the 8th inning. Excuse me, in the 8th inning, the second inning. Rockies 17-13 in his starts behind the plate. Fans, when the Rockies score 7 runs in a game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the following day. Do it between 4 and 6 in the afternoon, and you'll get your Rockies taco special at Moss at Taco Bell. Senzatella can swing it a little bit. He's got a little leg lift too.
I like it. Stratton lives on the bottom quadrant of that Subaru strike zone.
That's a good slider.
If he lives down there, he'll make it difficult for the Rockies hitter second time through the lineup, where he was missing the first inning. He won't last long.
Stratton throws to first, 2 outs, and that'll bring up LeMahieu. Got a great story on DJ. He and his dad, when he was growing up, made an annual trip to spring training. They did it, according to his dad, about 10 straight years. And DJ would collect some autographs. So one year they're at a Cubs game, and DJ gets Harry Carey's autograph on a baseball. And on that same baseball, he's able to get Mark Grace to sign it.
That's a good one.
So, yeah, I mean, you got the late, great Harry Carey. You got tremendous player during his time in Gracie.
Mark Grace, number 17, as a sidebar, is the reason why Todd Helton wore number 17. So good guy to have on an autograph baseball.
Absolutely. And then his dad, when they got back home after their little vacation of spring training, he was looking at some of the keepsakes, and he picks up the Cubs baseball. It's got Harry Carey's name. It's got Mark Grace's name. And he turns it over. It's also got a DJ LeMahieu autograph on it. DJ was like 9 or 10 at the time, and his dad said, "You put your name on here." He goes, "Yeah." we reminded DJ of that yesterday in the dugout, and he kind of chuckled at it. He said, "Yeah, we probably didn't at the time help the value of the baseball." He just was prescient. He knew that at some point in time he was going to be a big leaguer, and the irony is he ended up starting his career in a Cubs uniform.
Well, you know, that had to be a thrill for DJ, and maybe it adds to why he has such a big chip on his shoulder when he plays the Cubs.
Got this baseball at home. Strike 3 on LeMahieu, and DJ not happy with that call by Angel Hernandez. Rockies go in order. 8-pitch inning for Stratton.
DJ better be careful.
Home in his 1996 season, the best of his big league career. He won the National League batting title that year, led Major League Baseball in runs and total bases, had 211 hits all to go with that .344 average. He was an all-star that year and finished third in NL MVP voting behind Ken Committee and Mike Piazza. Guys?
Taylor, thanks much. Yeah, Ellis had not only a tremendous year that year in a Rockies uniform, he had a tremendous run as a member of the Blake Street Bombers. 1-1 on Stratton, 9-1-2 for the Giants. And he's going to bounce this one on 2 hops to DJ, 1 out.
It was fun looking at the 1996 season, and I was crunching some of the numbers because I was curious to see. I mean, those are basic Triple Crown numbers for Ellis Burks, and again, a part of a team that Vinny Castilla was with. Leading baseball in runs, leading the baseball in total bases, the batting average, second in hits, and then you start looking at what Ken Caminiti did and what the players behind him, Mike Piazza, and then you realize the narrative against Colorado, which is going to be always the home road splits, and you start looking at what did Ellis do at altitude versus what did he do on the road, and you can understand it. how the conversation has started and why I think when we talk about Larry Walker and Todd Helton for their candidacy in Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, you have to understand where the history also starts from. The narrative it started years and years ago. Right or wrong, those were the numbers. And there was a real big discrepancy early on.
This will always be a great ballpark. We understand that. But I don't think every player that plays here, like yourself, like Corey, needs to apologize for doing well in their home ballpark.
Nope.
It just seems that every player, and sometimes without doing homework, because we've seen a number of seasons where the numbers are either not as dramatic, the splits, or the power numbers actually are better on the road. Hansen, a strikeout victim. Good on speed pitch there from Senzatella, 2 outs. I mean, case in point this year with the home runs. The Rockies hit a bunch of home runs. Everybody assumed, well, it has to be Coors Field, right? Charlie Blackmon, 11 road home runs. Ian Desmond, 13 road home runs. In fact, Desmond overall has hit better out on the road. But they're always going to have to battle that narrative. You just don't hear it as frequently when guys produce big numbers, say in Boston, or guys hit a lot of home runs in a Yankee uniform.
And Ellis Burks played for the Red Sox, and he played for multiple teams. He played for the Indians and the Giants. You know, it's just Colorado. It was another place that he played. It wasn't like he made his entire career at Colorado, in Colorado. And Ellis is still regarded well within the industry as being a great ball player.
2-1 on Buster Posey. He had a fly ball to fairly deep center field in the first inning. 2 outs, nobody on. Rockies in the top of the third, leading 2-0. They've out hit the Giants thus far, 4-2. Well, take the Mariners, or excuse me, take JD Martinez this year. And JD's a great offensive player. We saw what he did last year after the trade down at Chase Field. This year in Boston, Fenway, got the monster there, right?
The monster.
His OPS is 12-14 at home. Out on the road, that's a strike, 854. 854 is really solid. Very good. 12-14 OPS, but you don't hear anybody saying, oh, JD Martinez is benefiting from playing at Fenway Park. Should do well at home.
You should, yeah. You get to sleep in your own bed. You get comfortable with the batter's eye. You get comfortable with the dimensions. For JD Martinez, he's always been able to hit the ball opposite field, so he gets rewarded when he does pull the baseball for the monster being so close. But every player should hit better at home. Even Buster Posey's hit .330 at home.
Good pitch there on 3-2. Off the black, and a 1-2-3 inning again for Antonio Senzatella. He's retired 7 in a row.
powered by AWS. An 84-mile-an-hour changeup off the bat, 101 miles an hour. Distance of 416 feet. Good to see Charlie Blackmon hit number 15 on the season, 37 RBIs for him now.
And Chuck Nasty steps in to begin the bottom of the third against Chris Stratton. And it takes strike one. Two strikes on Charlie. Charlie owns the longest hitting streak for a Rocky this year. Late May into the first part of June, he hit 12 straight. Here's the 0-2. And this ball's well hit to right. It is foul.
Nice play. Is he wearing a holiday jersey? That's nice. Is he wearing a cargo jersey? There you go. Oh, good camera work right into the mitt.
This ball well hit again. Deep left center field. It'll be tracked down out there by Hernandez. So a home run, a near home run, and then a 405-foot out. And that'll bring up Arenado. Nolan punched a single through the right side. Now it's interesting. Panic's going to stay on the right side, at least initially in this at bat with Nolan. And Joe Panic standing right where Nolan produced a base hit last time. Here's the 0-1. Now it's 0-2. Well, real quick, Nolan's tormented the National League West. We all know that. But in particular, the San Francisco Giants, a .959 OPS. And Nolan has produced 87 RBIs against the Giants in 99 games.
It's incredible.
87 RBIs, 99 games. Here's where all the hits are going. This is a high fly ball to fairly deep right field. Pence, shy of the track, makes the catch. 2 outs. That'll bring up Cargo. He lined to left his first time. You said it last inning. If Stratton continues to live thigh high or above, some of those balls that we're seeing to the warning track are going to end up in the seats.
Well, he's in the bottom of the strike zone right now, and he's on the edges, so he's in a good place where he's concerned. But I think more important is if he starts landing the curveball. And a year ago for Stratton, hitters are hitting 116 against a curveball. This year it's 310. It's just telling you location is up.
And the slider, the league's hit 371 this year against his slider. With all the balls to the right side on the ground with Cargo, the shift is on. That's up 2-1. That is whipped into right at 100 and some odd miles an hour. You could have had 8 guys on the right side. Unless it was hit right at somebody, nobody was catching that.
It is fun when Cargo hits a rocket because it's like a It's like a 4-iron for me. It doesn't get very high. It's probably shanked. Just watch how Hunter Pence fields this in right field. He almost acts like a third baseman. He shortened his leg kick. It was down early on the Subaru Supermo. Well connected. That ball was waiting for it to catch up. I'm going to guess it's about 110 miles an hour.
110, I was going to say, guess the MPH.
More than 110?
More than 110.
What is it?
That will come back to it because Trevor just hit one down the right field line. Cargo may have an opportunity to score. Stu Cole's going to send him as he kicked around out there. And at third is Trevor Story, make it 3-0 Colorado. We'll see how that's scored because Pence had trouble picking up the baseball. But the Rockies have their third run with 2 outs. It's Cargo and Story doing the work. Straight triple.
Trevor gets a pitch up. He wants to sink her down. The Subaru Supermo, he pulls his hands in, finishes with both hands, and as soon as this ball starts kicking it around, Stu Cole's going to wait till the last second to hold up Cargo if he was going to. We talked about this in our open about how enjoyable it is for the Rockies to piece these at-bats together, take advantage.
This is in the air to left, and since we've run out of time in this inning, Rockies get a third run. That ball came off the bat of Cargo at 116.5 miles an hour. Stories was 100 miles an hour and it scored a run. 3-0 Colorado. To the fourth we go. Makes a Subaru by the Colorado Lottery. Play golden ticket straps from the Colorado Lottery to win up to $250,000 instantly. And by Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Drew Goodman, Ryan Spilboards, and Taylor McGregor at Coors Field. Middle game of a 3-game set. The Rockies won last night 5-2. Held the Giants to 5 hits. Brandon Belt takes a swing and it's a little foul ball. It's 0-1. Bell hit a line drive to left. It was snared by Parra his first time up. 2 singles of the broken bat variety in the first. And since that last single, a 2-out knock by Crawford, Senzatella has retired 7 in a row, including 4 ground balls and a strikeout. 3 on the right side for Belt. And that ball is toward the gap in right center. It'll drop. Wasn't hit particularly hard. A single for Belt. Achieving More is brought to you by AT&T. Well, the Rockies went 85 games using the same rotation. Now there's only one team left in baseball. It's used the same starting five. That's the defending world champion Houston Astros. And you can see the farthest into a season the Rockies had previously gotten was 37 games in both 2002 and 2003. Crawford hits this in the air to fairly deep center field. Belt's going to tag, and he's going to stop a third of the way there, and it was wise because that is a perfect throw to DJ LeMahieu. One out.
Third baseman number 48, Pablo Sandoval.
Here comes Kung Fu Panda. Sandoval popped out to end the first inning. Strike one. And a two-strike count on Sandoval.
It's good to see Senzatella. We're still paying attention to him. First time really getting a look at him since April. I'm liking his location. It's down in the zone. First pitch might have been center cut, but that's okay. Velocity's there, 95, 96, 97s that we've seen throughout the night.
And better pitch mix than at times in the past when he became real fastball heavy.
He's going through a period where he's pretty predictable.
And that just missed. Good location at 94. 2-2 on Sandoval. Certainly a double play candidate if Senza can get another ground ball. Belt at first with one out. And a strikeout of Panda. Two gone. Second strikeout of the night for Antonio Senzatella.
We've always pointed out that Senzatella's fastball has great life to it. This one has some run on it on the Subaru Supermo, and you see a major league hitter, and Pablo has always been a great fastball hitter. Get beat that bad, it's telling you, it's hard to pick up.
Here's Hunter Pence. He grounded to LeMahieu his first time.
Well, of the 54 pitches that Senzatella's thrown so far tonight, it's been 36 fastballs, and the rest off-speed pitches. Gives you a good idea of his mix, because like a year ago he was almost 85% fastball. So he's starting to sprinkle in more off-speed pitches.
Again, he's 23. We forget that sometimes.
Great arm, a lot of upside.
2-0. And another easy play for DJ. Pence always goes hard, made it interesting, but strong inning once again for Senzatella. Gave up a soft single to Belt, then got the next three hitters. Middle of four, Rockies up 3-0.
Burks, we have to talk about Vinny Castilla. The two were teammates for the duration of Ellis Burks' career in Colorado. And I asked Vinny, what is something maybe people don't know about Ellis Burks?
I mean, he worked hard. He worked hard in the gym and in the field, and he always worked and to get better. So as a team player, people don't know the grind that a ball player has to go through to perform in the field.
And by hard work, he means that when he was coming up, he modeled his work ethic off Ellis. He said, of course, every Major League Baseball player works hard, but Ellis was the kind of guy that I strove to model. Guys.
Taylor, I hope Ellis is watching tonight, because I want to give him a hard time, and it's always more fun when you give somebody a hard time and they can hear you. But last week, when we saw Ellie, he was even bigger now than he was in that picture. This is sharply hit, a base hit for Desmond the other way to lead off the fourth inning. He does not miss many days in the gym.
No, he
Ellis Burks is as strong as ever. And he was kind of wearing like the ultra tight fit, you know, the medium going.
Okay.
So I was giving him a hard time back. He says, yeah, my wife's saying the same thing right now. But Ellis looks great, man. So, you know what? So does Walker.
They all look good.
Yeah. Vinny, he's always in the weight room. So he's got a smile on his face also. Here's Tony with Desmond at first. He'll draw interest from Stratton. Desi leading the club in stolen bases. These are tough at bats, Billy, for Tony Walters. He's not getting regular playing time. Last couple of at bats he swung at the first pitch and grounded out. That time he took a strike.
This is, if you're Tony, it's understanding what your role is and what your main value is to the team. The team values your ability to call a good game and prevent the people from running on it.
Delayed steal, and they're going to get Desmond.
We haven't seen a delayed steal in a while, but Buster Posey and Brandon Crawford, two veteran players that pay attention. You can see Buster Posey watching Ian Desmond and throws it from his knees. This is why you appreciate guys that have that field awareness, always watching, making sure they're paying attention, not just kicking dirt.
No, I haven't seen one of those in a while. I like it. It's creative. It didn't work out this time for Desmond.
It's because he did it to Buster Posey and Brandon Crawford. Maybe to a younger battery, maybe to a younger shortstop that's not paying attention, working on his swing at shortstop, he might have gotten somebody napping. I liked it, though.
1-2, and now Crawford will zip it across, 2 outs. Well, we asked Ellis about his favorite teammate when we saw him last week. And he answered Vinny Castilla. He's one of the funniest people I've known. He puts a smile on my face no matter what. And that's true for everybody who's around him to this day. Bottom of the zone, a strike on Senzatella. So I was getting my hair cut yesterday.
Okay.
It was yesterday, yeah. And where I go, Vinny goes. And it doesn't take long to get my hair cut anymore. I don't know if you noticed that. But the woman who periodically will cut my hair there also cuts Vinny's hair. And like everybody, she adores Vinny. Please tell Vinny hello for me.
Well, she does a great job cutting his hair.
As opposed to mine. Do you know those shears you just bought?
Walgreens?
Yeah. I'm going to borrow those for my next haircut, all right? 3-0, the Rockies leading as we go to the 5th. I'm on Twitter to cast your vote. What's your favorite food on the 4th of July or during the holiday? The sandwich that is known as a hot dog in the Spielberg household, or burgers, cake and ice cream, potato salad, watermelon. Or all of the above. There should be there, E, all of the above.
What do you got? You're not a big sandwich guy, so A's probably out. I'm assuming potato salad's out for me too. So it's between cake and ice cream and watermelon, and I think I'm going to go with D for you.
Yeah, I love watermelon. Yep. Had some earlier tonight. How about you?
I'm going with you too. I go bonkers on 4th of July when I see a bowl of watermelon.
Right. You know what? That kid's going B with the ice cream, and he's a little hot that Dad took a bite of the ice cream first. He did not want to share.
Blame him.
We got to check back on how that ice cream's consumed. I'm saying 50% ends up in that little boy's tummy, and 50% ends up on everywhere else on his body.
You're probably right. It's a hot evening, so that kid.
Yeah.
You better get to work on that ice cream.
Yeah, he may bathe in that thing. Joe Panic at the plate, and he's behind quickly 0-2 on Senzatella. Little update. It's starting to melt. Temperature still in the 80s.
What a conundrum. Dad should probably lick it to prevent it from leaking all over the place, but the kid will go crazy.
Tough play for DJ. Did he get him? Yes, he did. What a play by LeMahieu. Boy, is he something else. Last night behind the back. Here's a sliding stab of a ground ball, and he threw from that position. Had to get a lot on it.
Just pay attention to how he sets his foot. He never gets it fully planted. It's almost on its side. He has to just lean back to try to spin his hips around and get some sort of power on it. It's an amazing play on the Subaru Supermo.
That was a great play by DJ again. Gorky's Hernandez behind a strike. Senzatella quietly filling up the zone, staying ahead of hitters. Took something off there. It's 1-1.
Plays like that just show what kind of athlete DJ is. For being 6'4", and it's also when you see an infielder ever practice that play. You don't. Everybody wants to get the perfect footwork. Oh, I just want to look fancy. Sometimes you don't get the opportunity to do that, and when you do practice those occasional plays. I think it's so important, Bill. It's such a great point you make that there's a lot of infield instructors who believe that practice, you know, the plays that are routine, absolutely. The plays that are less routine, and then special plays. You know what? The slow roller where you got a glove flip if you're a second baseman. You got to practice it. It's going to happen periodically in a game. Maybe only once a month, but if you practice it periodically, it's there, even behind the back. I know that sounds crazy. You say, oh, you're trying to be a hot dog. No, there are some times where that may be the best way, like last night, to get the ball to your partner at second base. And if you practice them occasionally after you get all the other basics out of the way, it'll benefit you. It has to. There's no question.
We see Nolan go into foul territory, whether he's taking ground balls from Tony Diaz or from Stu Cole, and you know those throws from off the backhand where he's 15 feet in foul ground. He practices that, so when it happens in a game and we all marvel at, man, what a perfect throw, and he's ridiculously good. Yeah, he is, and he also is relentless in his pursuit of greatness defensively. Two and two on the pitcher Strat.
How's that ice cream looking? Just for an update, since DJ ruined our ice cream.
Dad still got it. What happens is mom's taking care of the little one, and dad in between pitches is sneaking bites of the ice cream. Actually,
he wanted the baba.
Yeah, he wanted the baba more than the ice cream right now. So that pleases dad to know it. See, a little tug.
You get baba,
Yeah.
and now if the mom stuffs the ice cream in daddy's face and he's fine. This would be the best inning ever.
Do you want any more ice cream? He's asking. No. Which is the exact response dad wanted to hear. Now he's free and clear.
Go ahead and eat it. Foul tip off Tony Wolters is why Keith Duggar's out there asking, making sure he's okay. It's a good reason why we're not going to the replay and we're sticking with the ice cream.
Exactly.
Family show.
I appreciate dad's patience here. He really wants his son to enjoy this ice cream.
He's trying so hard. Just eat it.
It's starting to look like the Eddie Murphy skit from 25 years ago. I got some ice cream. Right?
And then he drops it on the ground. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Dad's never been happy.
Hot dog and an ice cream.
2-2 on Stratton. 2 outs. Nobody on for the Giants. Rockies up 3-0. The Giants came to town, one of the hottest teams in baseball. They'd won 10 out of 12. They'd swept the first place Diamondbacks in Phoenix. 3-2. And a strikeout of Stratton. That's the 4th of the game for Senzatella. And it's another 1-2-3 inning. He's had 3 1-2-3 innings so far. Little help from DJ LeMahieu never hurts.
Now, Ellis Burke spent 18 years in the big leagues, 5 of those right here in Colorado, so he understands how unique it is to play baseball right here in Colorado.
Being involved in the community, you got some great people here, you know, a nice eclectic group, you know, different nationalities. It's a wonderful place to live, you know, and they really love the Rockies. You know, when they decided to bring a team here to Colorado, I thought it was the best thing ever because, you know, you have this whole region where people just enjoy the game, and I think it's definitely a credit to the Manfreds and everyone that was a part of bringing it here.
Now, we asked him what his favorite memory was of being a Rocky, and he said, my very first game, that was in 1994. It tops in my career with the attendance they were drawing at Mile High. I was just excited to be a part of that. Drew?
He was a big part of that. First pitch of the inning misses ball one on DJ LeMahieu. Good man Ellis Burks. He stayed in baseball. He's working for the Rockies for a while, and now he's working for the Giants.
He's working for the Giants, yep.
One of his former clubs. Here's the 1-0 to LeMahieu. And it's 2-0. 2 in the first for Colorado. They got a run in the third with 2 outs. Single by Cargo, tripled by Story. 3 runs, 7 hits for Colorado, and ball 3 on DJ.
Right on the edges of the Subaru strike zone. It was pitch number 2 that in his last at bat was called a strike by Angel Hernandez, and it led to a nice hearty conversation between the two. I always do appreciate when an umpire allows the hitter or the player to just have their say. Let them let off some steam a little bit.
Angel's been around for a while, and I'm with you. I mean, he allowed DJ to somewhat demonstrably show his disdain for that call.
And listen, this happens all the time. Major league umpire might come up to you later on in the game and say, hey, I think I missed that last one. Apology accepted. And players will do that too. Hey, I went back and I saw the video.
Good call.
It was a good call. It was a good pitch.
First walk by Stratton. Here's Blackman. Charlie, a home run and a deep fly ball to center. He hit a home run down the right field line that was foul by just a couple of feet. Charlie's seen the ball well tonight. He takes strike 1. Remember the other day, it was Charlie's birthday. Jenny asked some of Charlie's teammates what they would get him for his birthday. And Nolan, who's on deck, thought about it, and he said, yeah, Charlie loves the outdoors and stuff. He goes, maybe a tractor, a riding lawnmower. So we told Charlie the other day, we got to keep this thing going. I'm getting you engaged in this. And when we told Charlie, he said, yeah, he goes, I live close enough to the ballpark, I could drive it to the ballpark. And you know he's, just crazy enough maybe to do it. This ball is lined to left off the ground basically for a base hit. DJ and Charlie have reached to begin the 5th inning. You on board?
Yeah, I'm on board on that.
Get Nolan to buy up a John Deere.
I think you need to buy him like a tent. I mean, Charlie's more outdoorsy. Get him an Airstream. Save the money on the tractor and get him an Airstream. I think he'd use that a lot more.
He would. Tonight is Nolan's 800th career game, so we go comparing some of the all-time great third basemen, Hall of Famers in Schmidt, Chipper Jones, Eddie Matthews, and where were they after 799 games? Well, look at the RBI total. That's right, HOF one day. And Nolan's right there. There's a graphic we had last night. He's left only 12 runners in scoring position all year. Single and a fly ball to deep right field. He takes strike 1.
Well, I have noticed this throughout, basically after the first inning. Stratton's gone away from his fastball all the time to a lot more changeups, curveballs, and sliders. He's giving a 3-pitch mix, 4-pitch mix, but 3 mixes with the off-speed pitches, just trying to get him off the fastball.
Nolan got a fastball there, and Bell doesn't have a play. It's at least 5 rows back. After last night's win, the Rockies lead the series against the Giants 6 games to 5. Kind of weird to think that after tomorrow's game on the 4th of July, they'll play only 2 more series against one another. Series here and a series in San Francisco. Two-strike pitch. One and two. Rockies getting a great pitching performance from Antonio Senzatella. And looking to add on here. That was close. Called a ball by Angel Hernandez. 2-2.
Well, you'll take that if you're Nolan, but right at the top of the Subaru strike zone. And part of the reason why you're not going to get a call like that is that Buster Posey had to reach back and up.
And now 3-2. Two on, nobody out. 3-2 on Nolan. One of the things that I've noticed, Bill, and I know you have, early in the year when not a ton of guys were hitting around Nolan, it was away, and Nolan was taking his hits to right field. Now, with everybody pretty much going strong, Nolan's getting more pitches he can turn on, and that's why the home run total all of a sudden jumped up, tied with Harper for the league lead at 21.
Nolan has 16 walks and 40 plate appearances with a full count. Something a couple of years ago you wouldn't have seen that number. And on the other side of it, for Chris Stratton, has 2 strikeouts on the night. 73 pitches, he only has 8 swinging strikes. So he's been pitching to a lot of contact, and this is why, as Rockies hitters, when you're seeing this, you feel comfortable with your at bat.
Nolan hits it in the air to deep center field. Hernandez going back. He's going to run out of room. 3-run jack. Nolan Arenado make it 6-0 Colorado. Number 22. Yeah, let out a screen. That ball was tethered to center field.
You gotta love the reaction from Nolan. This is a good at bat. Fought off some pitches, gets one in the middle. And he's still not leaving anybody out on the bases, just clearing the deck.
Cargo takes ball one. 419 feet. That'll make you smile. Think about it. It was 0-2.
Yeah. And that just comes back down to Stratton's inability to get the punch out. It was something that he's going to have to figure out. When you have a below 7 strikeouts per 9, that tells hitters you don't have to worry about getting struck out. You're going to make contact.
Nolan, with the 3 ribbies there, just moved into first place in the National League in another department. In addition to home runs, RBIs, ahead of Javi Baez and Eugenio Suarez. 2-1 on Cargo. That almost worked out. If that stayed fair, it'd have been a double.
The ball that Nolan hit was another changeup. Charlie Blackmon had a home run off Stratton in the first inning on a changeup.
Virtually the same place.
Same place.
Three and two as that fastball was high and tight. Still nobody out in the fifth inning. And the Giants are leaving Stratton out there with no parachute. There's nobody warming in their bullpen. Story on deck. Stratton had been throwing a lot of strikes up until this inning. He's had three 3-ball counts in the inning. He had only one in the first 4 innings. It's the third time through. And the Rockies have hit him hard. And that will go right to Belt. First out. That'll bring up Story.
Shortstop, number 27, Trevor.
Looks like a Nolan's home run on the Subaru Supermo changeup. Down the middle. StatCast numbers coming up for you too on the Subaru StatCast. 101 miles an hour off the bat, 27-degree launch angle, 419 feet. And an awesome reaction from Nolan. That was 95 decibel yell. It's a rebel yell.
101 off the bat, 95 decibel yell. We have all the particulars tonight. Swung on and missed by Story. Trevor's 2 for 2, single and an RBI triple.
I think 120 decibels is like jet engine loud, so 95 is pretty good.
What does that equate to? Like a garbage truck rolling past your house?
Leaf blower. These things are loud.
Two strikes on Story.
Sandblaster.
Jackhammer. What's a jackhammer? Like 105 decibels? 1 and 2. Pig Suey call by Taylor. How many decibels is that?
It's like basically ends animals.
You want me to do it again for you guys?
No, please don't do it
No
again.
cats jumping out of the window tonight?
There were several animals that, yeah, there is. Don't do it. People are trying to keep their cats. No.
Pig, suey. I'll just leave out the woo, but.
Buddy's making you do that, isn't he?
Yeah, I was actually in his office today teaching him how to do it. He wasn't on board though. I really need to help him work on his woo.
Well, he's a Pacific Northwest guy, so he was pulling hard for Oregon State, and you lost the bet. What I didn't understand is you had to do what you like doing anyhow, is do your woo pig suey.
Yeah, I gave him the chance to make me do something else, and he said, no, I just want to hear you do the woo pig suey. I said, we only do that after they win. He said, I don't care, you're doing it.
Hopefully we get a foul ball, and we're going to warn the viewers at home, hide your cats. All right, go for it, Taylor.
Pig suey! And then you do that 3 times, and the last time you say Razorbacks. I won't annoy you with the full 3 times.
Do they like kick you out of Arkansas if you don't know that?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I don't know. Is there something big at CUCSU you gotta know? That, like, you gotta know Ralphie runs, right?
Go Buffs, go Rams.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
2 outs, Gerardo coming up.
The first 10,000 fans through the gates for the Rockies Diamondbacks game on July 11th will receive a coupon for Nathan's famous dollar hot dog.
Oh, the contest is tomorrow in Coney Island.
I can't watch that.
I do not watch that either.
I'm sorry, I
I'm just
can't watch
mentioning
it.
that the contest is taking place. I have to say something, all right? since I mentioned it. Parra, an RBI single in the first and a fly ball to left. The announcers, when I have watched that, keep referring to these guys and gals
As athletes?
as athletes.
Okay.
Do you have an issue with that?
No, I don't, because
They're eating athletes?
yeah, I mean, they may not look the part at all times, but I don't know. I feel like they put some effort into training their body to be able to consume that amount of food. I was listening the other day to Joey Chestnut talking about it. He puts on, during the contest, it's basically 22 pounds worth of hot dogs and water.
No way.
22 pounds.
And Joey Chestnut's a lean guy. Looks like he's in good shape.
Yeah.
He goes from like $180 to over 200 pounds?
I'm like quivering.
This is important stuff here. Fans want to know. Who wins a food eating contest? This is fouled off. Let's call it we'll do a hot dog. Who eats a hot dog eating contest
On the Rockies? With our production crew? I'm not sure who would win. I feel like I'd be in the running for consuming the most amount of food. Me and Mike Fox.
This is rolled to second.
Rockies, though. I bet you Charlie Blackmon would be right near the top in crushing food.
That'll be our question of the day for tomorrow. We got to find who in that clubhouse would win a hot dog eating contest. Tavis, can you get on that? Nolan hit a 3-run home run. He put away the groceries
RBI
also.
hog.
RBI hog. 6-0 Rockies. That's transparency. Alan Hansen is leading things off, top of the order in the 6th inning for the Giants. Rockies leading 6-0. They've out-hit the Gigantes 9-3 so far. With Ryan Spilborghs and Taylor McGregor and our entire AT&T Sportsnet crew, I'm Drew Goodman. Everybody's salivating in the truck for the hot dog eating contest tomorrow. You know, back in the day, before he has gone on this massive diet.
George Frazier or Corey Sullivan?
Corey Sullivan. Sully would have been very competitive.
If it came to pizza, yes.
That's a good looking pitch there. Fastball right down the middle. 1-2.
If it was a pizza eating contest, Corey would dominate. He would be the Joey Chestnut of pizza eating.
Back in the day, if it was a McDonald's eating contest, he would have won. DJ will get Hansen 1 out. A lot of mishit ground balls tonight. 4 strikeouts as well for Senzatella. It's been a brilliant return so far for Senza to the rotation. Buster Posey coming up. How about the performance again? Let's not forget what Kyle Freeland did last night on top of his previous start against San Francisco, and the one before that, and the one before that. He's just having a great year. Last night, first pitch of the ball game, he gives up the home run to Gorkys Hernandez, and nothing rattles him. Gives up only 2 hits to the next 25 hitters. Finished the night by retiring 13 in a row. His home ERA after that ball game dropped to 2.89. His overall ERA is 3.25. That's a strike also. It's 0-2 on Buster. The 3.25 ERA, Spilly, is now 10th best in the National League. And for those, again, that always wanted to track, we're talking about Ellis Burks and Dante Bichette, you know, some of the numbers offensively, we've all heard it ad nauseum, that get put up by players who wear the purple pinstripes. Timeout. You have a pitcher just like Ubaldo in 2010. You have a pitcher in Kyle Freeland, who's among the tops in ERA in the National League. I don't know if he'll make it, but he ought to get strong consideration for being an all-star.
There's no question he should be considered, but because of the outside perspective, it's going to be really difficult. I mean, people still will think of Max Scherzer. And
it's a tough hop. Nicely done by Story, and he'll throw out Posey. That was not easy.
Not even close. This is where you hear somebody say drop step. Now for an infielder, the drop step is a reaction. It allows him to open up his hips to buy himself a little bit more time. Let's see how he spins his body so he can look that short hop in. Uses that hand to secure it.
Hands are softer, going ground up. Outside on Belt with 2 gone. He has one of the 3 hits, all singles in the game for the Giants. 2 in the first of the broken bat variety, and then Belt with a kind of a soft single in the 4th to right center. Inside, 2-0.
I want to finish up on Freeland is from the outside world, because they don't get a chance to see him pitch every day, because he doesn't have high strikeout numbers. It's going to be very difficult for him to be part of the narrative. That's what it is. It's unfortunate. People want to see the high strikeouts, low ERAs, and anybody that pitches here at Coors Field still doesn't get credit for what they do. And so in order for you to get a pitcher like that, it's going to be an Ottavino. And even if you looked at some of John Gray's advanced analytic numbers, they were near the elite levels with strikeouts and walk ratios and all these different aspects. But people around the league that watch Kyle Freeland, scouts in the food room today, were raving about what type of competitor he is, about going toe-to-toe with Madison Bumgarner, and said, you have something special on your hands in Colorado with that guy.
Because he's able to back it up every 5th day. 2 quick strikes against Belt. It's 3-2 now. Top of the 6th, 2 outs. And a line drive caught by LeMahieu. 6-4, and he can rise. What a play by DJ. His 2nd Gold Glove play of the night. He was up there. To go to rob Brandon Belt of a base hit. He's already playing short right field. It helps to be 6'4", and it really helps when you're athletic and get some hops.
If you're Brandon Belt, you're going, I don't like baseball in 2018 with all these shifts. That's a hit.
That's going to be a hit to the gap in right center field and to the wall. Here goes Desi into second with a double. Second hit of the night for Ian.
Let's show DJ again. This play's incredible on the Subaru Supermo. At that spot in the outfield, about 120 feet away from home plate, for him to time it gives you a different optic standing out there. Timing his jump perfectly. He's probably touching the rim. Senza loves it. So I miss you.
One 1-0 on Tony. Native Coloradan Pierce Johnson is now throwing in the Giants bullpen. 2-0. Tony, 2 ground outs tonight. And on the inside corner strike, he was in the Subaru strike zone. Senzatelli saw in the on deck circle. So after conversing with Buddy Black, Buddy, we had the video during the commercial break, looking in his eyes. See if he was getting the full truth. Everybody wants to stay in, right? But he was convinced by whatever he saw in his eyes, whatever Antonio told him, so he'll continue on. He's just at 84 pitches. He has battled a mild groin strain a couple times down in Albuquerque. He told us yesterday in the clubhouse, though, that he feels 100%. 3-1. And this will move the runner to third with 1 out. Desmond at third. Senzatella will come up.
Number 49, Antonio Senzatella.
6 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Rockies. Senzatella has thrown 6 innings of shutout baseball, allowed only 3 singles. Giants already down by 6, have to bring the infield in. And Senza hits it right at panic. 2 outs.
The first 10,000 through the gates for the Rockies-Mariners game on July 13th will receive a Dinger foam hat courtesy of Xfinity. Mariners making news today. They extended Wade LeBlanc. Remember him?
Left-hander.
With the Padres, bounced around. Truly is a great story. A guy gets an opportunity this year, has pitched extremely well for the Mariners. 31 years old, signs a 3-year extension. Jerry Dipoto.
Jerry stays active, doesn't he?
Yeah.
We'll see Jerry this weekend. Here's DJ, 0 for 2 and a walk, run scored.
Mariners have surprised a lot of people in baseball. They were not expecting that team to play as well as they have, especially when you have one of their best players in Robinson Cano get popped for PEDs, and they've played their best baseball since he's been gone.
I was going to say they played better without him. They've won 7 in a row going into today. They're 23 games above 500. That's fouled off. And they began Tuesday just a half game behind Houston.
The aspect too, I was listening to Jerry Dipoto talk about some of their team philosophies, and they cared more about, they have a statement there, control the zone. They care more about their pitchers not walking anybody and their hitters taking more walks than other teams. and they've won more one-run games than anybody in 2018 with a negative run differential. It's the
line down the line, fair ball, shot into that right field corner. Desmond scores the Rockies' 7th run. LeMahieu on his way to second with an RBI double. Well, the Rockies have used the opposite field as well in this game as we've seen them in quite some time. Desmond 2 hits in that direction. Nolan's got a hit in that direction. And now DJ.
Oh, this is where DJ loves to hit the ball to begin with. After robbing a hit off Brandon Belt, might as well just shoot one opposite field. His 31st RBI of the season. If Belt was 15 feet tall, he would have jumped.
That will be all for Chris Stratton. It'll be a double switch. We'll tell you about when we come back. Pierce Johnson coming on.
Coming in. All-Star voting ends Thursday, so go to Rockies.com/vote to vote for Arenado, Blackman, Story, and all of your favorite Rockies, even DJ. Throw him in there. Throw Kyle Freeland in there too.
He's been great. Charlie, home run, deep fly ball to center, and a single tonight. Pierce Johnson out of Faith Christian in Arvada, on for the 28th time, played collegiately at Missouri State. DJ at second. As Blackman steps in. And there's another base hit, and that'll bring home DJ. He's got to pick it up. Pence, throw offline, and Charlie read the throw over the head of Belt, and he'll scoot to second base. Blackman brings in LeMahieu.
This is the best we've seen Charlie swing it in the last couple weeks. Home run in the first at bat, single in the 5th. Now pulling his hands in. First pitch he series off Johnson into right field for another RBI. Now DJ with 2 outs. He thinks right off the bat, I got to score. Gets in there easily. Hunter Pence with the high throw allows Charlie to get to second. Now you have Nolan in an RBI situation again.
7. Make it 8-0 Colorado. All 8 runs. Charge to Chris Stratton, and that closes the book on Stratton. 8 runs in 5 2/3. What that does to your ERA? It bruises it. One strike on Nolan. Good pitch, 0-2. Everybody gets tacos, fans. The Rockies have scored 7+. Do not forget to go to your participating Taco Bell location tomorrow on the way to Coors Field. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special with Moss at Taco Bell. Sellout crowd tonight. Sellout crowd tomorrow. More than 40,000 yesterday. And they're loving this display of offense. How about the 5th inning? Nolan originally behind 0-2, worked it to 3-2, and then he got a changeup knee high and he hit it a mile. 22nd home run of the year. It leads the league. Rockies tonight with runners in scoring position, 4 out of 6. Actually, let me correct that. It's 4 out of 8 tonight. A lot of opportunities. Two and 2. Curveball misses. 3 and 2.
Nolan's just not expanding whatsoever. We've noticed this over the last really 2 weeks for Nolan. Ever since the day off after the Philadelphia series, he's settled himself down. The posture is more upright, so he was, for a second, he was falling over the plate. Wasn't seeing the ball as well as he'd want to be.
This is hooked to third. And Sandoval, perfect throw to Belt. That will end the inning. Damage done again for the Rockies. It started with an Ian Desmond double. DJ had a double. Charlie a base hit. 8-0 Colorado.
Greatest Rocky of all time, and we asked him, what does it mean to be a part of the top 25 Rockies list? And he said, anytime you can be a part of a top anything, it's an unbelievable feeling. It's a great honor, and for all of us to be a part of it is very special. I was talking with Vinny about this today, and he said one of the things that's cool about the Rockies is since it's only 25 years, everyone within the top 25 seems like a tight-knit family. Drew?
It is a close-knit group, and we saw it last year when Spilly and Corey and that gang came back to celebrate the '07 National League pennant and run of the World Series. We saw it again a week ago when a number of the, not only just the top 25 guys like Vinny and Ellis were here, and Larry and Todd, but a lot of alum. I mean, Jason Bates was here. There were not a number of players that came back, and that's how you start to build tradition. And it's neat when different generations of Rockies really not only get to know one another, but get to appreciate one another. This is fouled off by Brandon Crawford. Crawford, Sandoval, and Penn, 7th inning. Rockies up 8 runs. And Senzatella, I hope, will not be too overshadowed by all the offense tonight, because he has, in his first start of the year, thrown a gorgeous game. 0-2 on Crawford down low.
I just love Senzatella's command of the strike zone tonight. You know how many walks he has tonight?
Bupkus.
There you go.
Alan Hansen a single to begin the day. Broken bat single to right. Crawford had a broken bat hit in that first inning, and then Bell kind of a soft single a couple innings later. Ground ball to Desmond, 1 out.
Just take a look at Senzatella throughout the evening tonight. 4 strikeouts, but he's been able to keep the Giants off balance. He's been showing the changeup. The last batter he got out, Brandon Crawford, 2-2 changeup. Even Buster Posey, 97-mile-an-hour fastball, but now that he's mixing in a changeup with the slider, it's changing the perspective. We said this last night about Kyle Freeland. The development of a changeup at Coors Field is so important because it allows the fastball to play up.
Think about this. The last time the Giants really saw Senzatella, as you look at Kyle, Senzatella was predominantly just the heater. And now, completely different look from Antonio Senzatella. The changeup, the sliders tighter and more consistent.
Looking at the pitch selection for Senzatella for the night, he's thrown 14 changeups. 14.
And we showed that graphic at the start of the night. Here's the 2-0 to Pablo. And Sandoval fouls it off. We showed the graphics, Billy, at the start of the night. Last year, the changeup was utilized 1% of the time. I just want to not even put it on there. And we said, you're going to see the changeup a lot more tonight. Well, 13 changeups in well under 100 pitches. So he's throwing it 15–16% of the time this evening.
And it's why the Giants hitters have been off the fastball. A lot of weak contact. That's weak contact to left. I know it's traveling deep.
Whoa. Almost traveled out of the ballpark.
Okay, maybe not that weak at contact.
Senzatella, a salute to Parra, 2 outs. I'm with you. I thought that was a routine fly ball.
Gerardo Parra drifting, same thing. As soon as you see that swing and you don't hear it off the bat with the loud pop that Parra sees it, he doesn't think it's going to travel this far. That's why he was going backwards on his heel. Senzatella loves all the defense he's getting tonight. You're going to get that, Antonio, when you command the strike zone. You're not walking anybody. That's the defense you'll get.
Swung on a miss by Hunter Pence, 2 outs. So we were playing golf this morning with a good friend of ours, Joe Lembeck, and his son, Chad Lembeck, who played collegiately at Oklahoma and Rice, and then for a couple of years in the Rockies organization. He played collegiately against Hunter Pence. This is popped up, and this will be handled by Desmond. And he said he was that strong when he was playing against him when he was a 19-year-old. Senzatella continues on a roll. Rockies up 8-0. to 3 thus far. Here's our Cooney Lexus look back. We're going to do the look back in a moment. We got to look at our Dodge Casino Fun Cam first. And sellout crowd tonight, a whole lot of people having fun. Fireworks to follow, and there have been fireworks through 7 innings tonight as the Rockies have exploded for 8 runs. Cargo pops up the first pitch. And Brandon Crawford has it, 1 out. Lodge Casino, your first choice for fun. And with 1 out, that'll bring up Trevor Story, single and a double tonight. In 3 at-bats, he's driven in a run. There's a strike on Trevor. Pierce Johnson in relief of Chris Stratton. And that's in there, 0-2. The Rockies seemingly off to a really nice start in the month of July. And what you hope is the month of July in 2018 can replicate the month of July in 2017 for Buddy Black. In that last July, the Rockies averaged 7.8 runs a game in the heat of the summer. You score 8 runs a night, you're going to win a lot of ball games.
Well, it's important to win ball games in this month because there's so many decisions that will be made about the future of this organization. You want to move forward. You want to press forward and continue to add upon what the team and organization did last year. And just on paper, the way it's at right now, there's not going to be 3 teams coming out of the National League West to go to a playoff game. So you're going to have to start racking up some wins.
Well, you finish this one out, and you like the chances of that. 6 outs to go. And the Rockies up by 8 runs. And now all of a sudden you won 5 out of 6. And you're doing it inside the division, which is imperative.
Yep.
St. Louis was down 1-0 a moment ago. They won 6-3 in Phoenix last night. They have an early 2-1 advantage. Dodgers leading the Pirates early. Dodgers erupted for 17 last night. Has Matt Kemp made an out yet? That's the question. He has 8 hits in his last 8 at-bats.
Well, if it's 1-0 in the first inning, there's a good chance that Matt Kemp had a hit already.
Two and 2 on Story. Off the plate.
Dodgers are already up 2-0, back-to-back home runs in the first inning. So Matt Kemp hasn't even come up yet.
And that's strike 3 on Story. No argument. 2 outs. I'll bring up Gerardo Parra.
Star Wars night is July 28th, and the first 15,000 fans will receive a Star Wars Chewbacca beverage wrap. But the only way to get the exclusive Chewbacca t-shirt is to purchase the Star Wars ticket package at Rockies.com/Star Wars.
And the home runs for the Dodgers. Peterson again and Muncy again. Muncy homered yesterday. He's got 19 home runs. RBI single in the first for Gerardo with 2 outs. That was a big hit. Breaking balls in there. Pierce Johnson's got a good arm, Billy.
And I like how he hides the baseball. It's a little bit of a short arm. Notice so far some of the swings from the Rockies hitters a little bit off. You know how much we appreciate Colorado athletes making it to the majors.
Yeah, I said it last night, a couple days back. It was 3 pitchers in a row out of the bullpen for the Giants from the state of Colorado. Block, Muncy, or excuse me, Block, Pierce Johnson, and then Mark Melanson.
That's a great part too, as we've been reflecting on 25 years of Colorado Rockies, is you know that Ellis Burks and the Big Cat, Larry, they've impacted players like Pierce and like Ty.
All the kids
Kyle
growing
Freeland.
up.
Yes. You always see this. You see it often with the Major League team.
Well, it's tangible when you're looking from afar and you say, okay, well, I'll be a Cardinal fan because they're on a lot. They're, geographically, I suppose, somewhat close, or maybe you rooted for the Royals, whatever the team was, right? Now you have a team literally in your backyard.
But they have to be good. That's the other aspect, is they have to be good.
The Rockies got good in a hurry, made the playoffs in just their 3rd year. 3-2 on Gerardo.
We talk about Buster Posey and the San Francisco Giants, the guys that are on the field as it stands, the Brandon Crawfords of the world that have impacted future Giants down the road. The Bay Area of Northern California, how many Buster Poseys are going to be coming through that area 5-10 years from now?
Down low, and a walk to Parra. That'll bring up Desmond. How many kids put the bat in their left hand initially because of the influence of Todd Helton?
A lot.
Desi's had a nice ball game again. Single and a double tied, a run scored. And again, Nick Hundley in a double switch came in for Posey with the game out of hand. Bruce Bochy acting to give his former MVP a couple innings off. Ground ball to Bell. And this will be a foot race. It's dropped by Johnson. And then Desmond checking on Johnson because I think he may have kneed him inadvertently.
No, I don't think so. I think he rolled his ankle.
Oh, is that what happened?
It looked really bad.
Belt wanted, because his momentum was there, he wanted to go to second for the fourth. So there was nobody there. So he had to redirect. And Johnson was racing the bag. And you know Desmond's going hard.
He's just late playing spectator for second, and that second is too long. He just rolls his ankle on the back of the bag.
Good feed by Bell. It will be an error on Johnson.
Oof.
Well, that could have been really ugly.
It could have been really bad.
You know, anytime I see something on the bag, I think back to Jason Kendall.
Jason Kendall. Think about Bryce Harper last year. There's just been a lot of plays at first base lately. We've seen ankles getting rolled. I've actually heard people suggest that the base should be flat at first base.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, for first basemen, they wouldn't like it because they use it as a ladder to catch some of the errant throws. But I'm all for player safety.
Tony slices this into the crowd foul. 0-1. Walters tonight, 3 ground outs. 6th inning after a leadoff double by Desmond. He pulled the baseball to move Ian to third. He would score on a 2-out double by LeMahieu. Rockies have scored in 4 different innings, including 2 in the first. Hit a couple home runs tonight. Blackman has hit his 15th. Nolan Arenado is 22nd. And if the inning gets extended, Raimel Tapia will hit for Senzatella. How about Senza? Yesterday, Freeland retired his last 13. Tonight, Senzatella retired the last 12 Giants he faced.
So we're talking about players that influence future major leaguers. For Pierce Johnson, it was Roy Halladay that influenced him. Doc went to Arvada High School in 1995, which is gotta be awesome. You get to see a guy in the big leagues that is not only a good ball player, he's a multi-Cy Young Award winner.
From your neck of the woods. Two stories will emanate from tonight. The relentless offense of production by the Rockies, but even more notable, Senzatella taking a spot again in the rotation and performing the way he did. 7 shutout innings, just 3 hits allowed. Good take. 2-2 on Walters.
Well, it's funny too because for Antonio, he was working on a curveball last year. You remember that pitch? And it just did not work for him. Slider was a better pitch. It had some depth. The curveball didn't have a great feel for it. The changeup, and it takes the longest to learn, is going to be an excellent pitch for Antonio.
Rockies will leave 2 on. In the 7th, they lead 8-0. Great performance by Senzatella.
Works tonight, but now it's time to turn ahead to next week. Number 12 on our list, Ubaldo Jimenez. He was with the team from 2006 to 2011. He had a 56-46 record with the team. How about this? A 3.66 ERA, 773 strikeouts, and of course, he threw the first no-hitter in club history. Now that on April 17th, 2010. It's a day I'll never forget because it was actually 3 days before my dad passed away. So for me, it's kind of cool. I always think about it as a time, you know, my dad left the Colorado Rockies on a high note. Drew?
Yeah, nobody will ever forget that day when Ubaldo turned that no-hitter down at Turner Field. And he went from the stretch the last few innings because out of the windup he was having some command issues and had walked 6. 8th inning, Mike Dunn takes over for Antonio Senzatella. Joe Panik is leading things off. The Giants have had 3 base runners. No walks from Senzatella. The 3 singles. 4 strikeouts. 2-0. Second appearance for Mike since coming off the disabled list. His first appearance looked like the fastball was up a tick or 2. Touched 93 in his last outing. Got that back calmed down. And a called strike on the outside corner.
Well, I always tease that no-hitter that Ubaldo threw, that thank goodness Dexter Fowler was in center field. There was times I played center field, it would have been a one-hitter.
You weren't catching that out in left center field?
Nobody on the Rockies roster other than Dexter, and I know Corey Sullivan say, hey, I could have done that. No, that one you're not catching. That one took a 6'6"
fast guy. Long strider.
Long strider. As good as you know, we give ourselves credit for making decent reads and good routes. That was an athletic play that we're not making.
3-2. Yeah, your little legs really have to be moving
My
quickly.
legs are long, short torso.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes.
What do you got on Sully? What's his description?
Good at reading the ball off the bat.
I thought we were going to lose you today in the native grass.
I thought the snake was going to get you.
Yeah, that was not right, by the way. Ground ball to second. DJ's got it. Panik's retired. Tonight's attendance is brought to you by Cricket Wireless. Full house at Coors Field, as is customary when there are fireworks or just when there are 2 good ball clubs playing. The Rockies taking on the Giants tonight in front of 48,072. It's sellout number 4 this year. And the Rockies thank you. Gorky's Hernandez against Dunn. Up. It's going to be Austin Jackson pinch hitting. First appearance in the series for Jackson. And a base hit through the right side. Through 5 innings in El Paso, the Chihuahuas have yet to record a hit against John Gray. 6 strikeouts, no walks. And you know what? That is music to any Rockies fans' ears. And certainly it's music to Buddy Black, Steve Foster, Darren Holmes, to Jeff Bridich and his crew. I know it's one start and he's in the midst of it, but you wanted him to go down there with that attitude, not feeling sorry for himself, saying, all right, you know what, I have some things I got to work on. And at least in his first appearance, it looks like he can't have a better start than that.
No,
so
you
far,
can't.
right?
Well, but some of the issues for John, and it's true. It's great to see him have success, but where he needs to focus on was out of the stretch with runners on base. This is where his numbers significantly skewed to below league average. And when you're looking at those numbers, it's remarkable because nobody on base. John Gray, elite pitcher. You can even throw him in the same conversation with the strikeout percentages and walk rates as a Max Scherzer. But then once there was some traffic, the numbers just skewed the opposite direction. And so that's something that the Rockies would love to see him work on in the minor leagues, is get some traffic on base and let's see you put down some hitters. Yeah. That's what they want to see.
Right, tonight not allowing any traffic. It's really when something bad happens, how he handles it.
Exactly. Be better off if it was a controlled environment for John to just start the inning off bases loaded, or do what in college you would do this: runners at second, third, one out. How are you going to play
situational baseball?
Situational baseball. On base, 316 batting average against John Gray with nobody on, 266.
It's like those college scrimmages when you went up there was a 2-1 count already, and the catcher was calling strikes. The first pitch we thought was a foot outside, and it's now 2-2. 3-0 is ball 4. So Nick Hundley draws a 4-pitch walk, and that'll bring up Alan Hansen.
Sunday, July 15th is Military Appreciation Day at Coors Field, and the first 15,000 fans through the gates will receive a Military Appreciation hat courtesy of iHeartMedia and Avalanche Harley.
Pitcher spot is next in the line with Posey coming out. Austin Slater has a bat in the on-deck circle, and Dunn misses again. Making some in this crowd of 48,000 a little restless. Hansen tonight had one of the 3 hits against Senzatella. It was a broken bat single to right in the first inning. He's the first hitter of the game. Strikeout, and also ground ball to second afterwards. One ball, 1 strike. Couple of notes. Garrett Hampson, so we're talking about Albuquerque. Garrett Hampson last night, I don't know what he's done so far tonight. 3 for 5. He's now hitting .321 in Albuquerque after being moved up from Hartford. A .409 batting average his last 10 ball games.
One last little thought with John Gray, and I know talking to people within the organization, nobody's lost confidence in John Gray, and I hope he understands that, is that in order to get to that next level, you have to improve upon certain aspects. And that's an area that he needs to improve. Runners on base. How do you maintain focus? How do you execute pitches? How do you slow the game down? And can you do it in an environment that gives you the confidence for your results? Because the Rockies aren't going to be successful without John Gray on the roster. They're not.
Too talented. You need him.
You have to have him.
Buddy pointed this out yesterday, unless anybody's forgotten. Second half of last year, John Gray was one of the best pitchers, starting pitchers in the National League. 1-2. Kick a foot out of the way. 2-2.
Cliff Lee sent to the minor leagues after a year in Cleveland. He was a very good pitcher, went down the minor leagues, came back, won a Cy Young. Roy Halladay, we were talking about Arvada West. I got to give a credit, I got to point out. Sent to the minor leagues, won multiple Cy Youngs.
Bouncing around a little bit. Garrett Hampson tonight, 1 for 4, home run. Garrett Hampson can play, and Garrett Hampson is in the mold of what the Rockies are really trying to do in their draft and development program. Kids they sign out of Latin America, they want athletes, guys who can play multiple spots, and Hampson is one of those young guys. It'll remain 3-2. Brendan Rodgers down in Double-A, Rockies' top prospect, was 0 for 2 tonight and a walk. He hit a home run yesterday, his 16th. He had hit a home run on Sunday as well. That young man's going to hit.
He's going to hit.
3-2 to Hansen, and this is line to left, and this is going to break up the shutout. Coming home with the first giant run is Austin Jackson. Hansen with his 22nd RBI. Single walk, single. After Dunn retired Joe Panic.
Well, Hansen, a very good fastball hitter, hitting well over 340 against fastballs. Gets one in 3-2 count after spoiling off a couple pitches. This one's center cut. Dunn not looking to walk anybody, just challenges him with the fastball.
We'll get a pitching change with Austin Slater coming up. 8-1 Colorado. On Antonio Senzatella, making his first start of the year, and it was a gorgeous one. 7 shutout innings, retired the last 12 hitters he faced. A lot of ground balls. He struck out 4. Really didn't come close to walking anybody. And he got 2 sensational plays from DJ LeMahieu. Great job from Senzatella. He looks to improve to 4-0 in his career against the San Francisco Giants. The 23-year-old's all smiles, as he should be. So Jake McGee, with 2 on and a run in, will take over from Mike Dunn. He'll face Austin Slater. What you don't want to have happen is this to get sloppy at all and try to produce the final 5 outs.
That's right. You want to try and lay off as many bullpen arms as possible.
This should do the job. One pitch and Slater grounds into the 4-6-3. Nice job, Jake McGee.
Perfect.
A run on a couple hits. There was a walk. 8-1 Rockies. Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by T-Mobile. Show your military appreciation and use the hashtag HatsOffForHeroes. And T-Mobile will donate $1 for each post. This is the Zambelli Fireworks International crew getting ready for one of the great fireworks displays each year in the Rocky Mountain region. They'll do it tonight, they'll do it tomorrow night, packed house both nights. Here's Raimel Tapia pinch hitting for McGee. Corey Guerin on the mound now for San Francisco in the bottom of the 8th, and the first pitch is hit in the air to left field, and in foul ground. It's chased down out there by Hansen. Glance at the numbers for Corey Guerin. It's often utilized by Bruce Bochy.
Bruce Bochy loves this matchup for him against right-handed batters because he has a great slider. And Corey has a good relationship with Charlie Blackmon. I believe they played together at Young Harris Junior College.
Yeah, and Young Harris now a 4-year school. When Charlie's so old, when he went there, he was a JUCO.
Corey will get a chance to match up against Charlie. Has 3 hits on the night, including a home run in the first inning.
Harrison Musgrave apparently will throw the 9th inning. DJ's been on twice, including an RBI double in the 6th, 1 for 3, walked and scored in the 5th. He went 2 strikes. Twelve hits tonight for the Rockies. Giants had 5 last night. That's what they have right now. And this is in the air to Hansen in left. Did make the catch. 2 outs. Hopefully it was a breakout game tonight for Charlie Blackmon. And here's some of the highlights. In the first inning, Charlie got a pitch to his liking and changeup out over the plate. And he was 15th of the year. This one to dead center field. That was a good piece of hitting too. In his 5th inning at bat, line single, and an RBI single in the 6th inning. 3 for 4 tonight. 2 runs scored, 2 driven in for Blackmon.
Blackmon 0 for 2 in his lifetime against Corey. A walk and a strikeout.
Looped foul. A lot of sliders typically with Corey Guerin, and I took too long. One and 2.
I always found it awkward facing a former friend, or still your friend, but a former teammate at a different level. Especially if you've had a lot of good memories with this player.
Charlie wastes that pitch.
He You want bragging rights, there's no question.
We were talking earlier about some of the minor league top prospects, what they were doing. Remember, we just met this kid, Rocky's second-round pick out of state of New Hampshire. Big kid, Grant Levine, first baseman.
Yep.
He's already hit 3 home runs, driven in 13 down in Grand Junction. And Charlie swings and misses. So the Rockies go quietly in the 8th. They have an 8-1 lead. They're looking for 3 more outs. They'll ask Harrison Musgrave to get them. That way and finishes the year that way. Rockies leading 8-1. They've out-hit the Giants 12-5. Coming up, the Toyota postgame show. Connor will break it down with Jeff Hewson.
Leading off the top half of the 9th inning for the Giants, first baseman.
Rockies 3 outs away from taking the first 2 against the Giants. Nice thing about the outing by Senzatella, I mentioned this early on. The Giants, who have been one of the hotter teams in baseball the last couple of weeks, winners of 10 out of 13, had won 15 of their last 18 against right-handed starters, and they got nothing done with Antonio Senzatella this evening.
There's one runner reached second or third base today. I mean, that was it against Antonio. He limited runners in scoring position. He limited walks. He didn't have any. A lot of weak contact. Even the singles he gave up were broken bats.
So Musgrave's ready. Brandon Belt. Brandon's hit the ball hard 3 times tonight. 1 for 3, and of course the hardest ball he hit, he was robbed on that leaping catch by DJ LeMahieu. Two and 0. DJ can't reach that one. Base hit for Belt. Let's give you a quick glance at who will be on the mound initially in tomorrow's Wednesday night affair. For the Rockies, Tyler Anderson will go, and another left-hander for the Giants. It's Andrew Suarez. So the Rockies seeing 2 out of 3 lefties in this series from the Giants. Suarez done a good job. 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Tyler Anderson has been pitching very well.
It's the best we've seen him pitch in a while. Very aggressive with his pitches. He was not. I mean, at Dodger Stadium, that last outing he had 8 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, and I still throw the red flag for it because it was a questionable call.
You know, Musgrave in particular wants to get Crawford is ahead 0-2. Crawford hit that game-winning home run against Musgrave in San Francisco. That game that Freeland and Bumgarner started, there was 0-0 into the 9th inning.
Yeah, Musgrave's not throwing Brandon Crawford a curveball this at bat. If he is, it's going to be spiked.
Fastball's off the plate at 93, 1-2. So the Rockies go to Seattle after their series concludes tomorrow night with the Giants. The Giants go home for an 11-day, 10-game homestand. And the Giants have been really good at AT&T. Musgrave's going to win the battle. Charlie cruises in. That's out number 1 in the 9th. Next up, the third baseman, Pablo Sandoval. Still 2-1 5th inning. Now the Cardinals remain a run up on the Diamondbacks. Pirates have gotten on the board. Dodgers hit those 2 home runs in the first with Jock Peterson and Max Muncy. It's 2-1 3rd inning at Dodger Stadium. 0-2 on Sandoval.
Well, the scary part for me, looking at the Giants with the good schedule that's coming up for them.
Deep in the hole, Story. He'll get a force to first, safe. That would have been one heck of a way to end this ball game. Looks like a base hit. Story almost turned that thing into a 6-4-3 game-ending double play.
This entire Rockies defense is just incredible to watch. Day in, day out, they do things we marvel at.
Look how quick LeMahieu's hands are.
It's so fast. The ball was only in leather to transfer to the hand. That's as quick of a turn as you'll see.
Amazing. Hunter Pence off the plate, ball 1. 2 ground outs and a foul out tonight for Pence. 26 outs in the book. The Rockies looking for number 27, up 8-1.
Well, the next time we see the Giants, next series, I'm not talking about tomorrow, they're going to be a lot closer to full strength than they are currently.
Well, they'll have Cueto and Samardzija back in all likelihood.
Longoria will be back. He's getting closer.
I hope he can start swinging a bat next week. Well, it's now 3-1 LA because Muncy homered again. What's that guy having for breakfast? He's got 20 home runs. He wasn't even in the big leagues last year. 1-2. Two and 2. Crowd in a festive mood. White out on the eve of 4th of July. Here's the 2-2, and that's going to miss also. 3-2. Hometown team up 8-1. Fireworks to follow.
They're ready.
And ball 4. I'm going to bring up the second baseman, Joe Panic.
Second baseman, number 12, Joe Panic.
You know, Buster Posey got 3 at-bats tonight and went hitless. And the reason I'm mentioning that is he had a 17-game Coors Field hit streak that was terminated tonight by Antonio Senzatella. There's Buster. Panic's 0 for 3. And a balk was just called. First base umpire Bill Miller called a balk on Harrison Musgrave. Maybe it was the second base umpire Todd Tishner. That's who he's. You know, Tishner said, "I didn't call it. Bill Miller did."
I didn't do it.
It was the boss. Bill Miller's the crew chief. Ground ball to Nolan. Ball game over, and the Rockies win it 8-1 tonight. 2 straight over the Giants here at Coors Field. And the Rockies have won 5 of 6, and with that victory, they're now back to 500 at 43-43. The division tightens up. Antonio Senzatella, what a performance. 7 shutout innings. He allowed 3 measly singles tonight. Struck out 4, did not walk a batter. And the Rockies got plenty of offense. Charlie Blackmon in the middle of things. A whole lot to do on the Toyota postgame show. It's coming up in a matter of moments. Again, the final score tonight. Behind Antonio Senzatella, the Rockies over the Giants, 8-1.